What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be giving you a round by round breakdown of last year's warm-up race at the bracket finals. We're working on getting some new content for you guys. We have some stuff already in the works for you coming out soon, so we're kind of working on a few different videos all at one time here to try to get some more things out for you all at a decent time period. If you guys are interested in some merch, right now available today is our Rip and Dip shirts. If you guys are interested, the main color we have is yellow, but we can get them in a bunch of different colors for you guys. If you're interested in that, let us know on either Facebook, Instagram. You can put it down in the comments here. Let us know if you guys are interested in something, and we'll work with you. We are still working on trying to get a store available, and we're also working on some new designs. I keep saying that, but we are working on some new designs. I have about 4 of them or 5 of them done right now. Shirts, we're looking at some hats. Just to start with, and we're going to get some other stuff out too. Also some decals if you guys are interested in decals of Scully or the GOONco logo itself. I got a couple different variations of that. Let us know what you guys are interested in, and we'll see what we can come up with. But if you guys are ready, let's get on into today's video, and let's break down some races. Alright guys, we're going to get into today's video. And this is going to be a race recap, pretty much round by round, of our warm-up race at our WDRA bracket finals at US 131 last year. So round 1, we had to go up against a buddy of ours, Jim Seabright. He's dialed in at 574, and we dialed in at a 585. Our time run that day, we only had one hit on the tree. Time run was a 583 with an 024 reaction time. So going into first round, we threw a 85 on there. Decided to hold 2 numbers, even though we were being chased by a 574 car. Really not much of a difference, and our mile an hour looks to be almost the same. So going into that race, that was kind of the thought process we had on that. Yeah, really the only thing that went bad on the run was we turned it 6th out red. We ended up going dead on our dial with a 6, so we were right there prepared. He went a 571 with a 4 on a 574, so with an 015 late. So it would have been a good race. Would have definitely been a good race. He's always a tough customer, so I'm sure he would have been driving the stripe pretty good. Scooching into round 2, we were racing one of our Mid-Michigan teammates at the time. If you don't know, when you go to the bracket finals, the warm-up race, it's just a free-for-all. It doesn't matter if you guys come from the same track or not. They don't separate it like they do in the main event. So second round had to go up against tough competitor Kelly Smith and his fast roadster that he's got. He's dialed in at a 508. We ended up staying with the same dial-in because I didn't want to try to judge the stripe too much here. So we ended up staying with the same dial-in, and we stayed with the 585. He ended up getting the better reaction time with an 011. I ended up hitting an 019. He came down and took a lot of stripe. I ended up hitting the brakes last second. I took 7 mile an hour off. So we actually, looking at our 330 number, we had picked up 100 to the 330, so we were on a little bit of a faster pass. I ended up going in 86.8, a 586 with an 8 on an 85 dial-in to be 18 above, and he breaks out by basically 10. We ran the 506.9 on a 508, taking 37 strike. Moving into third round. This was a racer from Grand Bend that we had to go up against. He dialed in at a 607. We kept the 585, and looking at our 330s, we picked up 2 thou from the second round. So car was on pretty much the same run. I'm thinking it was probably on like a high 83 maybe. So we ended up hitting the 002 reaction time. Our opponent dialed in at 607. He ended up going 015 red. I run an 83 with a 9, and he goes dead on with a 2. So depending on what his reaction time would have been, that would have been probably a hell of a race. So cars seems to be running consistent. Let's get into round 4. We had our buddy Alan Fields, 131 racer, tough competitor. Kept the same dial in, 585, and he's dialed in at a 623. My car ended up slowing up just a little bit here to the 330, but it was a double red light situation. In this situation, there's no true start, so double red light situation, and first red light loses. He's dialed in at a 623. He goes an 029 red light, and we come in at a 001 red light behind him. I run a 584 with a 1 on a 585. He runs a 624 with a 5 on a 623. Probably would have been a pretty good race. He's 15 above, and we were 8th out on pretty much. So would have been probably pretty close, depending on what reaction time would have been. Moving on to round 5. We had another 131 racer, Mark Howard, always tough competitor. We bumped it up a little bit on the dial-in. We went to a 586. Figured maybe the car might be slowing down a little bit, which I think it actually picked up a 100th to the 330. So it looked like we were probably back on another 83 pass. So we dialed 586. Looks like we were probably holding about 3 numbers. He was dialed in at a 6 flat. So pretty close. I love these races that are nice and close like this, because you get to get a good look at the car the whole way down the track. And if you're trying to take the stripe by just a little bit, which obviously that's our goal, you can do that pretty easily when you're in control of the ET with being the faster car. So he's dialed in at 6.0, and he hits an 0.48 reaction time. He runs dead on his dial with a 6. I had an 0.18 reaction time. As you can see here, we get to just past the 330, and we start ripping it. We're in the left lane, so we try to get him in that sweet spot with my mirror, just like we've talked about in other videos, and basically just paced him and took 23 stripes. It still took a lot, but felt like we were pretty good on the tree, and caught him really early, so I figured didn't have to tighten it up too much. But yeah, we took an 023 finish. I run an 87 with a 4 on an 86. All right, round 6. We had the race Donnie Hagar, big time racer at 131. A lot of people know him for winning the OG Million. So we stayed with our 586. He had lane choice and bumped us over into the right lane. He dialed in at a 643. I dialed in at a 586. Camera spotting a victim. This chick's gonna get blasted in the face with some exhaust. One thing I love about racing at 131, if you're in the right lane, if you've ever paid attention where our headers come out of the fenders, it's up a little bit higher. And for the people that are standing right next to the wall, if they're in the wrong spot, they get blasted in the face with some exhaust. Okay, so 586 to a 643. We're gonna be taking a good look over here, try to size them up for running the stripe. I'm expecting this to be a really, really good race, and this definitely didn't disappoint. 586 was a good pick for the dial-in, as it was on, looks like probably 84 pass. So I ended up hitting an 019 reaction time. Donnie comes in with an 045. Got down, played a little rip action. Took 27. I thought I tightened it up a little bit more than that, but a little hard to tell out of the right lane when you're looking through a big window. But I put it dead on 3. He puts it dead on 4. What a banger of a race! So I ended up getting the win over Donnie, and that was the semifinals. Putting us into the final round against Joe Brown in the final, another 131 racer. Oh man, camera spotted another victim. Looks like that's Deegan Orr. And now you're right. Oh my gosh. Exhaust to the face. Sorry, Deegan. We stayed with the 586 dial-in, and based off of the numbers at the 330, we were 1 thou different from the round before. So it was probably on, I'm saying, another 84 pass, somewhere in there. He's dialed in at 626. He ends up smashing the tree. He goes 006 light, and I missed it. I went hole 32, and that was pretty much all she wrote. He goes 006, dead one. He puts down a 7 thou pack, pretty much. Yeah, he's 006, dead one, 7 thou pack. That's hard to beat. Trying to get there, I ended up dumping him, dropping him off at the finish line, letting him take the stripe. He took 19. I ended up being 5 thou breakout on my end, but didn't matter. I was locked out to begin with, right off the rip on the start line. So good job to Joe. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, hit that like button. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. And maybe that's something we can get out a little bit more often for you. Coming up here soon, we have some shot video for you guys. That was also something else that was highly requested from us. People wanted to see a little bit more about what we do behind the scenes. So we got some of that coming here for you soon. Hopefully it turns out good. This will be kind of our first video doing that. As you can see, the car was running exceptionally well. It was running super consistent. A little bit of variations here and there, but for the most part, the weather was really good that weekend, so the car was running on point. If you guys like seeing this type of content, let us know down in the comments below. I know last time we did something like this, it turned out really well. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share to your friends, turn on the bell for notifications, and we will see you guys in another video. See ya.